morning, Internet. After a good long tryptophan-induced coma, we are back. Gentlemen, have y'all had any fun this week? This last two, well, what?
Last month?
It's been a month.
Yeah. It's been a month.
Yeah, had a great time. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Since we're almost to Christmas now.
Exactly.
You can't tell this, but I had 3 different Thanksgivings, and if I slimmed down some.
You do look a little fit. I like that. You're looking.
Yeah, I ate more turkey.
You ate more turkey.
I ate more turkey.
Yeah, awesome.
Then it was coma for about 3 weeks, and I think that's when I lost the weight.
That's when you lost the weight. Yeah,
that's right.
You're doing the hibernation coma.
I did. But I think Barrett. It's exactly right.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Ironically, the same sound that. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
Anyway, so guys, actually, we want to do something a little different. I think for the next couple episodes, instead of doing news, we're going to put all of the news that we find on Facebook. Which reminds me, if you aren't
because Daddy is tired of trying to get all that crap ready the night before.
That's true. So follow us on Facebook. Just type in Vagabond Nerds. We are the only Vagabond Nerds on Facebook. But that being
for about the next 30 seconds.
For about the next 30 seconds.
Thanks. Way to go, Jason.
Exactly. That being said, what we are going to talk about today, though, are Thor Ragnarok and Justice League. But when I say we're going to talk about them, we are going to spoil them.
Oh yeah,
This is not.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen them, just jump off now.
Yeah,
we'll see you in a couple more weeks.
Yeah, or if you don't want to see the film, but you want to know what's going on, then you can.
Hang around. Why not?
Yeah, we'll tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you'll know the entire movie by the time we're done. So just fair warning, if you don't want to know how it ends and you haven't seen it, just hit the eject button right now. But before we go to that, I have to say something about my children. So for the last couple nights, my 14-year-old has decided to be a 14-year-old boy, right? So
you caught him?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
Hold on. I did.
Does he start doing his own laundry now?
No.
Because I mean, when he does, you'll know.
Yeah. No. He's no. But like every 14-year-old boy, he thinks he's going to become a professional athlete.
Okay. What do you mean every?
Hold on.
That was not my ambition when I was 14.
Well, hold on. But okay. Famous and rich through athletics.
Yeah, that still was not my ambition.
Athletics meaning the video game athletics.
Okay, shut up right there. That's not athletics.
Yeah. He wants to be one of those professional gamers.
PGL, Professional Gaming League.
That's
right.
Yep. And so he has decided. And so he's.
I mean,
all this
honestly,
attention.
really though, wasn't that all of our dreams at one point or another? I could grow up and play frickin' video games my entire life.
Hey, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
See, there you go, Street Fighter.
Street
It's
Fighter.
on the Red Bull. It's on
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal.
I don't know where this rant is going, but can I say where I guess it's coming from? Is it
Sure.
Is it because esports athletes and sports athletes jocks spell equally as bad?
Wow. Well, you know what? Actually,
you're not wrong.
You're not far off.
You're not far off.
Because I've gotten a preview of the story.
So the thing is, he's doing what every 14-year-old boy does. He's not doing his homework to its fullest potential. It's not that he's not doing it. He's just not really putting the effort into it that he should.
As someone who lacked effort growing up, define that.
Wait.
Okay.
Are you saying from a person who lacked you, or are you calling him out for lacking effort when he grew up?
You know what? The answer to that question is yes.
All right. Fair enough.
You know what? I did really well in school.
How'd that pay off?
Not well. But perfect example. Okay, like he's going through the Odyssey, and one of the questions was, what does Penelope,
Like Super Mario Odyssey?
No, the Odyssey. The
Oh,
Iliad. The Odyssey.
okay.
Yeah, written by Homer.
Put your literary hat on for a minute there, Ray. Oh, you
I
don't have a hat
today.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry.
That's the problem. Anyway, all the knowledge is escaping out of his shaven and short head.
So you don't give your son a hat? Is that what this is about?
Yes, I don't want to get him a hat.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway.
All right.
So anyway, the question is, what does Penelope do at the end of every day, and why is it important? And he puts down, she undoes the cloth.
Oh, Penelope Cruz undoing the cloth.
No, that's not even beginning to be right. Anyway,
Sean's got that look on his face like, I don't know where this is going, but already I feel this might suck.
okay, so in the story, while Odysseus is trying to get home in what is the worst travel home, she has all these suitors hanging around, basically to become the next king of Ithaca.
No, I remember this. Yeah.
So she undoes the tapestry every night,
Right.
so that she can't get married, and that's the answer that's coming out.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's the answer that should have been.
That's the answer that should have been. There. That's not the answer he wrote down.
What was the answer he wrote down?
She undid the cloth.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Okay, so is
it's
this-
just that he didn't. Okay, so he said the same problem you do, which is where you don't elaborate. You just answer this quick little. You go, yeah, it's in there. Where is it in there?
But then all of a sudden, if I say, "Hey, man, flat Earth," you're like, "Okay, let me tell you my 8-point process here on why this is wrong."
which just means that he's not interested in the Odyssey, and he's more interested in just getting to the point. Which, well, she undoes a cloth.
Matter if he knows that Penelope wasn't doing the tapestry, and here's why. My argument would be this: it's not. You're right. In the totality, knowing that Sargon the Great was the first world conqueror doesn't really matter. But there are skills that you learn in going through the process, like again, following directions that are really important. Being able to read and think through what's being asked. For example, when it says, "Who is this character and why are they important?" and it goes to Odysseus, your main character, the king of Ithaca, who's trying to get home from the Trojan Wars, and you write the Great. You have not answered the question. When it comes to Telemachus, who is the son of Odysseus and is a very major player in the story, and you write down the son, I'm led to ask, the son of what?
A bitch. Can we get into Thor review?
Ziggy? And yes, we can. So Thor Ragnarok. For all of you who saw the
I hope
movie,
you were done with your story because I
am done with
was.
the story. Yeah,
okay.
done. The story is done, and that's a perfect lead in because for all of you who did see the movie, you know exactly what we're talking about.
That was a lovely line in that movie.
It was probably the best line of the whole movie. Was with Sir Tor.
Actually, I think the best line of that movie probably had to go to, "I don't want to do get help."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one. That
All
was
right,
good.
that one, and then after that is Sir Tor, son of a bitch.
You're
I thought you were
alive.
dead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, before we get too far into it, was there anyone who didn't like the film?
Well, first off, once again, for anybody who's tuned in late, we are going to spoil the crap out of this movie.
Yes.
So spoilers. From now on, the rest of the show, spoilers on everything. So tune out.
So are we saying spoilers?
Spoilers.
Spoilers?
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers.
Is that one of those, you keep saying it long enough it becomes weird? Like
Spoilers. Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right anymore. Spoilers.
What are you doing? Spoilers. Are you cooking that?
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I boil.
All right.
What's that on the back of your car?
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
All right.
Hey, what's that one spider person? Or Batman?
No, Batman, the one that replaced Robin, that would be
Yeah,
spoiler.
spoiler? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What your Thanksgiving turkey?
Spoiled.
Spoiled?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we move on now?
Yeah, sure. I liked it, but that's so your question. Yes, I like the
initial
movie.
question was there anyone who didn't like the film? Was there anybody who had anything negative to say about the film?
Well, now that's a different question. So the
Okay.
first question is, do you like it?
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say because I was conflicted at first. I really enjoyed the film. No, I did. I really enjoyed the film. But
I love that predication. It's like, no. I enjoyed the film. I mean, I really enjoyed the film.
But
I really enjoyed the film. Now, here's why I hated it.
well, there were some parts that I thought there were two problems I had. The big one I'll say for later. But the first one was it felt clunky at first as far as the storytelling wise, like the mechanics of the film. But once I realized with the overarching theme of loss and rebirth into something new, it all made sense as to why they told the story the way they did, right?
But how did the intro feel? How did it feel clunky?
Not the intro, just
I'm not the intro. At the beginning,
Yeah.
how did the beginning mechanics feel clunky?
'Cause
I feel
mean,
the-
in the first like 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
All right. We have, the Sir Tor stuff was fine, right? Because it sort of catches you up to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
We then have the whole Thor and Loki thing, revelation of Odin.
he returns to Asgard,
Right,
finds
right.
out Loki's been running it for
Which-
however long.
which is a great scene,
It was
yeah.
great. It was fun. Yep.
Right.
St. Anthony Hopkins laid on the couch, just going like, wow, that's got to be his favorite role yet, where he's just, eating grapes.
Exactly. So, like that scene, it's like the individual scenes were fine, but it was like, in the first 20 minutes, we're going to go and we're going to go to Asgard, and then we're going to go have a Doctor Strange cameo, which was unbelievably funny.
Yeah, that was great.
The Doctor
kept
Strange
refilling
cameo.
his beer, and then he kept taking. He's like, "Stop doing that, and you keep spilling the beer on everything. Yeah,
I have been falling for 30 minutes.
for 30 minutes. Yes, when he hits the sidewalk, he
Yeah.
brings him back. Okay.
Oh, you're a magician. Well, let me.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, and then
we
they end up,
have the death of Odin.
Right, they end up
and
in that
Hela
space
shows
with-
up.
right.
And then
Okay, well, stop there. Okay.
So how
so
is that-
far, none of this is clunky in context
that's
of the
what
movie.
I'm saying. I don't understand how you felt it was clunky.
like I said, it felt clunky at first, but like I said,
But
once I got-
why?
Why did it feel clunky?
I don't. It felt.
Okay,
like
look,
we're gonna go
look.
like
Shut up. Shut up. Let him answer.
It just felt like we went da 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 all the way through until we get to Sakaar. It's like it was like just they try to rush through a lot of really poignant moments and important moments to get to Sakaar.
So you think they could have spent more time on the beginning, elaborating in a certain spot before moving on?
Well, that's the thing. In retrospect, I don't think they could have. I think they did what they needed to do to tell what was a great story.
So
Right.
it just took me a little bit to get caught up with. It's like they took a lot of
So maybe
exposition.
we're over. So for you, it was clunky, and it took you a while to get into the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Like I said, it was what you had was like a bunch
You
of
are
great
so
scenes.
chewing you're just
No, it's not. The problem I have with this is you just undid the cloth. You're giving me the same answer. Like, no,
No, I said
it felt clunky.
Well,
It felt
you
clunky.
have a lot that goes on in the first 20 minutes. A lot that goes on in the first 20 minutes.
Maybe clunky is not the word you're looking for. Maybe
Okay.
choppy.
Okay.
Maybe because I can understand that where
Okay,
you feel that there's
choppy.
bits and pieces that maybe they weren't expounded on just because you in your particular viewing habits that I know you love, you want to see everything explained in full. Whereas in every once in a while, I want to go into a movie and I want to shut down for a little bit.
I always want to go into a movie and shut down most of the time. I mean, there are very few where I'm looking forward to a giant mind F.
Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner, I was not
Right.
shut down for that movie. I
No.
was engaged
I
the
love
entire
that movie.
time.
You have to, yeah.
But if you can just go in and turn off and go and enjoy
Yeah.
silence.
No, and I
Or
get
the
that.
darkness.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the darkness, yeah.
Hello,
No, like I said-
darkness, my old friend. No, wait. Sorry.
So, like I said, I really enjoyed the
All right.
film, but it did take me a little bit to get used to it. Like you said, the choppiness is the first part of the film. But once you get past that, I think the film moves very smoothly through. So maybe it's a choppy, smooth thing for me. But I think the real problem if there's any problem with the film, it's that they don't give. There's three moments where they needed some genuine emotional depth, and they were scenes that required some emotional depth, and they were turned into comedic. Or let me phrase it, they weren't given the gravitas that they should have had.
Can I
Okay.
guess?
Go ahead.
Can I guess? Okay.
Well, it's the only three moments that really matter. Continue.
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
So for you, I'm going to guess this. Death of Odin 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Death of the 3,
Yes.
number 2.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to say the destruction of Asgard.
Yes.
S3.
Yeah.
So you felt all three of those.
Lacked the emotional depth they should
Did
have
you guys
had.
talk about this before? Because
No.
you nailed that.
Well, but those are the three genuinely...
Those are the three genuine points of
Okay.
where you and I will say this.
I
don't necessarily
understand what you're saying,
I
but
don't
it-
necessarily agree with the Asgard part. I think that character, oh my god, I can't remember the Rock character that the director played.
Korg.
Thank you, Korg. I think that wasn't. We all took it funny. Yes, the director meant it funny, but if you look at it from the point of the character, it was a genuine. He was trying to be okay because he says a line. It's not like anyone else in the movie was laughing about that. They
Right.
were all just looking at that. I mean, he's generally trying to be helpful, so I don't mind
Yeah.
that one. I don't even mind the Warriors 3 quick in and out exits because really outside of the first one and a little bit of the second one, it's not like they're main parts of this movie.
no, they haven't been.
And I just I don't really feel. I mean, my God, we've had two. What's his name? Zachary Levi, who played.
Yeah. Fandral.
Yeah, I mean, Fandra. So there's been two different ones.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, nobody freaking noticed, right? Like there was a change at the guard, and
I
everyone
didn't.
was like, nobody noticed.
I'm
gonna
sure,
admit,
I'm
I
sure a
didn't
lot of
notice it either.
specific nerds noticed,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we nerds didn't.
Yeah, it's so.
I didn't know.
That's why, like, when someone goes, "Well, they didn't spend enough, time mourning the." Well, one, Thor doesn't know that they've died, so
I
that's
get
the first
that.
thing.
No, I agree.
And two, if it's just because you want to see him out as a hero's exit or a proper exit, I don't really care enough
There
about
wasn't
those
enough.
characters.
There wasn't enough, like you just said. There wasn't enough build up for each of those characters for them to have warranted it. Justified a proper exit.
Yeah.
I really.
Well, hold on. Let's look at Quicksilver. in
There
Age
wasn't
of
enough
Ultron.
character build up to
Yeah,
warrant.
but that's the whole thing. Is he got a more of a send off than they did, and they've been in 2 films. Again, they were major players in the first film. They were secondary players in the second film, but still kind of
Great, go gripe
they
to
were there.
Marvel about that. I don't.
Is that not what we're doing right now? What's
No,
the point of
no,
this?
No,
we're not.
we're screaming into the abyss, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
The abyss is stared back, and it says you're a nerd.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm not even saying I need like a whole lot of time on the like Hogan. I thought got a good send off. I'm just saying she kills Fandral and the other guy whose name Volstagg, and
Who's
it's-
known for eating?
right. But the point is, these were Thor's best friends. It could have like as soon as she skewers Fandral, it should have been instead of just he falls. You see him maybe like it's a close up of his face. She twists the knife. And he falls. And then Volstagg, again, she impales him. She talks to what's his face, and then of course she hits him one more time on the way out. But we spend time on him as he falls. That's all
Right.
I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Give it a little bit of time to say, "Oh, hey, these were Thor's best friends." Maybe leave a comment saying, "Hey, we're maybe on his way out. We see him put Fandral and Volstagg in charge of the Rainbow Bridge as he leaves."
I think
Something to,
I think
give
the
that
prior.
a little, more,
all right.
a little gravity.
The prior 2 Thors have clearly shown him putting his own distance between his people at Asgard and himself. And I think that includes his friends. So I think the fact that he's been leaning more towards being on the human side of things, as Thor always has. That's been throughout that's a common theme in the books and everything. That's
more
just the way
importantly,
it's been going. So
And all 3 movies have been about self-discovery for Thor.
right.
It hasn't had to deal with any of his friends or anything else like that, which I'm kind of glad. That's why you get rid of Natalie Portman's character.
Right.
Not-
That was
well,
the one
she-
line.
Look, she
Throwaway
didn't-
line.
She did not want to be part of the franchise
You're right.
after she realized she was going to be stuck with it in the second movie. That's why she only had the little part that she had in the second one. Was because she was like, I don't want to do this, and it's better for her, and
I don't
it's
want
better
to cash checks. I
it's-
hate money.
It's
Yeah.
better for her, and it's better for the characters and the overall,
It
franchise to get somebody in who either wants to be there and put forth that effort, just as much as get the person out who doesn't want to be.
Which is
there.
also a great-
Not try to force them to do something they don't want to do, because you're going to get
Yeah.
a poor performance. You're going to get James Bond 007 Spectre.
What I-
That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
What I love about this is who Daniel Craig is coming back anyway. What
Well,
does it
yeah,
matter?
because because they showed him the next check, and he went, all right. But
I'll care this time.
But in Spectre, he was contractually obligated to
Yeah.
fulfill that movie, and he went, I don't really want to be here.
I'm gonna phone this in.
Yeah.
Well, hasn't he been phoning in like every Bond?
No, shut up. No,
Casino Royale
was
still
brilliant.
is-
Okay, Casino Royale, I'll give you.
Amazing.
Casino, it is. But
And
the
then
rest of
some,
them
but
have been
and then
really
The
hard
third
to
one,
watch.
The third one.
the third one was good. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Skyfall.
Thank you,
That's
Skyfall.
right. Skyfall.
Quantum of
was genius.
Solace, bad story.
Couldn't figure out what was going on.
Couldn't figure out what was
and
going
that wasn't
on.
a good thing. It wasn't because it was mind
That wasn't,
bending.
and
It
that
was
wasn't
because
Craig's.
it sucked.
Yeah, that wasn't Craig's fault. That was
Yeah.
just Anyways,
The point
we're
is-
getting off topic.
Yeah, the point is
Maybe
with,
it just
with
feels
her.
like he's always phoning everything in.
No, the point is with her, and one thing I do love about Marvel is when they get ready to either A, get rid of a character, or B, change a character, they also let the audience know.
That they're
And
aware.
I love that because in Iron Man 2, you see Don Cheadle
yeah.
just coming in and he's like, it's me, get over it, deal with it,
Yeah.
get over it. And it's a nod to the audience and really kind of a slap to, Terrence Howard's face going, we don't really need you.
Yeah.
No,
And we don't care.
I don't think it was as much of that as it was to the audience. Like you said, was, look, it's a different guy. Get over it. We're going to move forward.
And I love that because even in Thor, oh, sorry she dumped you. Jane didn't dump me. I dumped her. It was a mutual dumping.
It was a mutual.
Yeah,
It was,
dumping.
it was about the behind the scenes
Yeah.
process of, no, she didn't dump us. We dumped her.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we both agreed that we were just going to go on our separate
we
ways.
just weren't right for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
We're-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Loki, and he's poking at the
Yeah.
freaking hole with the umbrella. Where you at, bud? So it's things like that, but I love how they acknowledge it. But to go back to the Warriors, I'm sorry, I don't think the Warriors 3, the average person does not.
They
it's not
didn't.
gonna
They
sit
didn't
there
catch
and know.
on to that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's to me that is a nerd thing. That's one of something that we would catch on that you obviously did catch on, and that's fine. I will. The one point I will agree with you on is the death of Odin.
You didn't think that
I thought it could have been a little. I thought that was probably the part where it should have been just a little bit more. There should have been a little bit more time to grieve instead of the instantaneous. Now, I understand for the story it worked, right? That's just me as a fan wanting to see just a little bit more. And that's really just, more of a comment and more of a congratulations to how Anthony Hopkins is as an actor.
Right.
I just want to see more of that character because he's so brilliant at it.
Well, what would you suggest they had done instead of just having the standard? Okay, he disappears into tons of different motes of dust.
I don't think that part would. Yeah, I don't think that part was even the problem. It's just there was. I
didn't say it was a
time.
problem.
That's what I'm saying. It's the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I think there was a lot of that could have been done and said that would have allowed for there to be more gravity.
What if giving it such a short amount of time actually makes that moment that much better? You know, when you have such a little finite amount of time to relish what you have in that moment.
I don't,
Isn't that the point of them showing up and him being isolated for so long? And then he goes, "My boys, I'm leaving. This is it. I'm going to die. Here's what you get." And they're like, they're just there with Dad, and that's it.
By the way, and
your sister's about to come back.
And your sister's about to come back.
And
Good luck,
she's
guys.
going to destroy everything. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and again,
Good luck fighting over my house.
And
Oh, I didn't leave a will. So
yeah,
sorry about that.
That's it, yeah. Well, you're
Who
not
gets the
wrong.
piano?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think that's a valid point. Saying that finite time.
It was quick.
Right?
It had to be.
And like I said, I get that for time constraints, it really needed to be because they did want to spend more time on Sakaar.
Story wise, like I said, I understood it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I would have felt. I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
saying much more.
just a personal
just
opinion.
a
No, I
personal
got you. I'm
opinion.
just curious.
I think
you know.
it just it felt like they were the drama was sacrificed for
No, see, and
the comedy.
to me, I don't feel that any. Look, man, by far, the best Thor out of the series.
I agree.
I mean,
I
I'm
completely
sorry.
agree. Like this is the smartest Thor we've ever seen. Like
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
think about it. And the way Chris Hemsworth even plays him, he's far more natural, but he's smarter. He's looking at Loki.
He's
like,
had 3
I'm
movies
not-
to get into a character. Finally,
Oh, he's had more than 3 movies.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
5.
I mean 3 solo movies to get into a Thor.
Well, but I think the whole point is, like you said, it's about growth. Like I
Yeah.
mean, he's not a completely different person, but he's gotten a lot smarter. And he said he spent 2 years looking for these gems. Because I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like he walks in, he's like, okay, so the 9 realms are in chaos. You're sitting here eating grapes, watching a play. You're not Odin. Like he calls him out instantly, right? That's not what Thor would have done. He would
and
have
a
been
great scene where he chunks his hammer. And he
yeah.
goes, okay, stay here.
Yeah,
you know, just
there's nothing in the universe that's going to stop it from coming right back to my hand.
yeah.
You
Which just
know?
happens to be
On the back of your head.
Back of the head. So genius.
So I mean, like I said, there was a lot of really great things. And like I said, I think it's just he was a smarter Thor. This was, I think, in many ways, this was a Thor we could have gotten, I think, earlier and appreciated more in the Marvel universe.
I don't think we could have because the Thor that was established was the pretty boy, playboy, romping around the universe.
I think he had to start off that
He
way.
was the prince of a god. You know what I mean? So he had to start out as he had to be that
Pompous.
typical stereotype of you're an idiot and
Yeah.
you're just playing with your friends.
And you're blonde.
Yeah, he just had to be. No, he had to be that typical.
Well, we had more fun.
playboy, kind of like Tony Stark did the same thing
Yeah.
with
Okay,
the same
so
thing with
yeah.
Iron Man.
Okay,
You
fair
had
Which
to
is
have
the
him
Marvel-
grow.
which is the Marvel formula.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, I disagree with both of you. I don't think this was the best Thor, and I don't think it was the
Really?
best one because I don't think it's going to hold up.
Okay, I've got to find out why, but I want to hold that to the end.
Okay, sure,
All right,
sure.
so let's jump to when he's now visiting Planet Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Marvel, thank you for giving us a shout out to Beta Ray Bill,
Oh yeah,
Man Thing, By Beast, and Ares on that temple, tower. I had to go. I couldn't even see Man Thing. And by the way, they actually Marvel did do a movie for Man Thing. It was a sci-fi original, but they did that. But it's like they put Man Thing on there, which means I kind of want it when they do it. We'll talk about this later because guys, next week they may announce Disney buying Fox.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which could. Yeah. All
which
right, anyways.
to me, if they can actually make that work, the end of that of Avengers 4 needs to be Howard the Duck and Man Thing showing up in the Sanctum Sanctorum, saying, "Hey, we gotta go talk about the rest of the universes." That's okay. That's me going real deep in the nerd, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
Man Thing exists. I would.
can
like
you
to see
imagine
him.
a great Fantastic Four that wasn't called The Incredibles?
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, they're on Planet Hulk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
I love the reaction of Banner, not Hulk, but of Banner,
Banner,
when he's
yeah.
all like,
Oh, when he comes back
Yeah, when he
down
comes
from the
back-
guy,
Yeah, and
comes
he's-
back down from the guy who's crushing everybody. Oh God, where am I? Yeah, yeah.
It's like, stay calm, big guy. Stay calm.
Yeah.
I can't stay calm. I'm in a place where it's not
No,
calm.
the sun's getting real.
Sun's
low.
getting real low,
real
guys.
low.
Sun's getting real low.
Would you stop saying that? Yeah, yeah.
And I love the fact that he's like, how long has it been? 2 years. 2 years.
I've been the Hulk for 2 years. Yeah, this is
It's like,
bad.
no.
You've
What
been
happened to Sokovia? Is everyone okay?
Yeah. What? was it-
Where are you at? Okay, you're on a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but not Earth. What?
You've
It's
been
the
on a
whole
planet
thing.
before? I've been on one planet before.
So see, there you go. Something to build on.
This whole thing is designed to stress me out right now. Yeah.
And I love the fact at the end when he goes, she's like, who are you? When they're going back to Asgard for
I'll
the final
show
battle.
you.
He
You'll
goes,
see- you'll
it's
see
time.
her,
You'll see in a minute. Jumps out and just, boom, that's it. And just
Yeah.
hits the ground as a
Yep.
lifeless Banner.
And she's just looking at him like,
Yeah, it was
just
like,
happened
what,
there?
what? So he killed himself? That's,
yeah.
It's like, that's his heroic action. Although, okay, obviously, and it's been in all the trailers, so it's nothing new. But when he's like, they're trying to activate the ship, and he's like, "Hold on, Thor, strongest Avenger. I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
access denied.
Access tonight.
The God of
Break.
Thunder.
Yeah. Point Break. Access granted. Damn you, Stark.
Yeah. Yeah. Point Break. Damn you, Stark. Yeah.
Oh, that was.
It was good, man. It's the comedic moments of this movie that I really enjoy. And it was fun.
This was
it was fun
more,
to see.
This was way more fun than the other two Thor.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
Thors.
Oh,
period.
my-
This was a fun Thor.
Yeah.
But
I get exactly where you're going, and I want to say this one thing because there's that scene with Banner where he jumps off and he lands on the Rainbow Bridge is like this lifeless rag doll.
yeah.
That I think is very emblematic of the entire film. The entire film is literally, in many ways,
It fell
it's
flat?
The whole
no,
film
no, no,
film
no, no,
fell
no,
flat?
hold
falling flat on
on.
his face on a rainbow bridge
Exactly.
like something
Like some
something
ragdoll.
out of Family Guy.
The whole exactly. the giant chicken.
Why are there so many banners dropping to their death?
No, it's the entire film is about death and rebirth, right? It starts off with Thor going literally to hell, right? Hell is
You're going deep for this.
You're
one, dude.
way too deep.
You are
Even
deep in
deeper
this
than
one.
what the director intended.
That is
Well, but
deep,
think
dude.
about-
I mean,
oh
I
my God.
don't
Okay,
get me
hold on.
wrong,
He-
but that is
he
deep.
died. He
man.
loses everything, and he comes back, and he's reborn as an actual thunder god. He's lost his eye. He has now replaced Odin. Loki.
Which
Oh,
is,
I wouldn't say he lost his eye.
It was.
I think it was taken
Taken
from
I
him.
think it was
forcibly.
taken from him.
And still one of the best lines. But my hammer's gone. You're not Thor, God of hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hit her with the largest lightning bolt
Well,
in human
history.
history, and she laughed it off.
Like, I'm all out of ideas at this point. You know?
So I mean, the whole thing is about is literally the death and rebirth both of the Asgardian people, Thor himself, and really every other character. Valkyrie, she was a Valkyrie. Then she watched everyone die,
and then she was a drunk.
and then she dies as a drunk and is reborn
My
as a hero.
absolute most favorite character in the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
loved her. I loved her.
No, I think she was great.
That was fun to watch. Once again,
Oh, yeah.
fun. It was a fun.
To be honest with you, I think outside of Thor, I'm going to say this. Outside of Thor, I thought my favorite character was Hulk. But
Banner?
the Hulk. No, the Hulk.
Yeah, finally we got we finally showed the Hulk that
I
we've
was
been
so
waiting
happy
for.
we did get to see that. That was a joy to be able to
Yeah.
actually watch him interact with Thor and their conversation of you're not
Yeah.
a good friend, you are a good, you're a bad friend, and they were like,
You know,
yelling.
you're a bad friend. And then at one point, you look and it's like, oh my gosh, these are just two muscleheads fighting over the last dumbbell.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's two 4-year-olds who don't are sharing their toys, and it was heartwarming to see. Like it actually had a good effect. You're watching for all intents and purposes, a giant CG character that actually makes you feel good about it and makes you feel something for it.
Yeah.
And that's hard to
And
do.
another
They
great
don't always
line.
pull that off.
Another great line at the end. We just need to let him destroy Asgard now. Hulk, you idiot!
Yeah,
but giant monster.
yeah.
But I love that because it was a pause. He looks back and he's
Like,
like,
but dude, you just-
but giant monster. It was
Yeah.
like, I was made for this.
Yes, this is
Let
what
me go
we
kick
do.
its ass.
Yeah, yeah.
No, exactly. And again, with Banner, right? He has to accept being the Hulk.
Yeah.
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 So that's why, again, because his entire story arc has been repressing the Hulk. And it's like, I need to accept that he is me.
Yeah.
But
so again, the whole film is death and rebirth, and we see that through all the patterns.
yeah, that's I'm not saying it wasn't. It definitely was. But wow, dude.
That's deep.
That was deep.
That was deep.
You had to go. You dug deep for that one.
I did.
I'm impressed. Like I said, I
Knee
applauded.
deep.
Nice job.
That's why I'm here.
All right, so I got to ask,
Why?
why is it not going to hold up, and why are you thinking this is now the weakest of the Thors?
All right. So, love the movie. Like I said, it's a great movie. Had a great time watching it. It was fun. I was engaged the moment I went in and saw it. Had a great time. All the jokes, the humor was great. It was a
And the
more it was
and
a-
the visuals.
and the visuals. The visuals
great.
were great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a more overall wider appealing movie to the audience, right? The other two Thors, much more directed, a narrower appeal, right? Especially the second one. Second one, The Dark World,
Well,
it had a very narrow focus.
The second one felt like it was the entire premise was to build upon the fact of introducing the second Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like.
Right.
to me.
Okay. Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it
yeah,
was
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
sole purpose of this was to sit there and say, "Hey, the ether's out there."
Right.
Well, I
You
think
know.
in many ways it was designed to actually create the Guardians of the Galaxy and give us an introduction into that
lead in.
universe.
To the
Yeah.
lead in the
But so. The first one to me is still the strongest because it is
It's
the
Hamlet.
introduction to Thor.
Yeah.
It's him. He's going for it's the tried and true. I'm here for my hammer. I'm Thor. I'm going to save the universe. Blah blah whatever. Save your planet. All this stuff. But the second one, while being fun and good, even though it's almost gimmicky.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
very
And by
much
the
so.
time, by the time
when you're
it's all,
when you're calling the hammer meow meow,
yeah.
Yeah.
By the time it's all said and done, in a year or two, it's some of those jokes, while funny now, might not be as funny the second time around you see them. It's almost an M. Night Shyamalan. You could you could lose.
no, that crap's still funny to me when I go back and watch
No, I know it's yeah, but you could lose a lot of the substance that we're talking about enjoying now
Right.
later down the road because it might not hold up, and that's my only fear. Now I think it won't. Does that mean I didn't like it? Absolutely not. Had a great time. That was a
I think
fun
I
movie.
think this trilogy went in the right way.
I like the If this is the
It's-
end of Thor as far as the trilogy goes, I think it was a
was-
great
it was
way to
great.
end
Yeah.
because it was a nice, fun send off. Everybody could enjoy this. Everybody was laughing. I mean, people, the audience,
Oh, yeah.
was just
Yeah.
having a great time laughing
Yeah.
it up, and it was fun. The characters were likable, even if they didn't all get their due as far as their deaths and their outros went. Love the fact that they went through the different costume iterations with Thor
Yeah.
throughout the movie,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was, I think, once again, the little nod to the fans because he's
Right.
had several different,
yeah.
he's had the sword, the shield. He didn't get the axe, but, he's got all those different things. And it was nice to see that play itself out through
Yeah.
the movie because that was we haven't done this in any of the other two movies. This is pretty much the send-off for the third Thor.
Yeah,
we need
let's-
to do something. Let's
right.
do this. He had the helmet with the... I was like, this is awesome. I love that. That was really cool.
Which was an awesome fight scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Fight
great
scene's
fight.
amazing.
And by the way,
That was a great fight. Loki's reaction to the entire... I have to get off this planet.
yeah, it wasn't even like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get off this
I have to
planet.
get off this planet.
It's like
Yeah.
what? Huh?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
And just sitting there looking, he looked like he had been kept. I mean, it was.
Yeah, he looked like
Yeah.
he went straight to
Somebody
PTSD.
lowered the
Yeah.
bucket down to him in the
Yeah.
hole at some point, and that's what he was doing over
It
there.
rubs
in the
the
corner.
lotion on its skin. I don't want to
And-
rub the lotion no
Yeah,
more.
and so, and then the whole getting the Hulk being smacked. Yes, that's how it feels when he smashes him back and forth. Once again, great lines, fun as hell, but. How funny is that line going to be the second or third
To
time
be honest
you
with
see
you,
it?
I think
that
it would
one-
still be funny.
That one's gonna hold
That
up.
one's probably that one will probably, but also because that I think that that has its own meme
Yeah.
behind it
Yeah.
because it was so iconic in the first in the Avengers.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how it's going to play out, man. I fear that.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at seeing that scene in my head again.
Yeah, that's
but
not mine.
but I will say this, and we can segue into our next review as well if we want to. I love imagery and I love music, and I love when music is used appropriately.
Oh, they did a good job of that
Yeah.
in this one. They did a really good job of the music.
Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
at the beginning was great, but Led Zeppelin at the end when
Was
he's flying
phenomenal.
down on a bolt of
Yeah,
lightning.
there's the
Yeah.
bridge, and he's
It's
coming
just
down, and
him.
it's flashes of light and all the charging.
It
Yeah,
is
that was
such a
great.
powerful
Yep.
scene.
Yep.
And hearing the music behind it, I like it. I had a moment of going back to being a kid again, where I was just like, "Oh wow, that's so cool! Look at it!" And they held it. They knew exactly the fact that we're going to show you this, and then we're going to kind of let it sit there for you for a minute. So they held on that scene for a bit, just so you could take it all in. And then when he gets down to the bridge, it's just the start of like one of the greatest ass whippings I've ever seen.
Cinematically, that was a beautiful scene.
Lovely
It was
scene.
great.
Lovely scene.
And kudos to Marvel to actually hide the fact that Thor gets his eye gouged out. Because
all the trailers and everything.
Oh, that's
he
right.
Had both eyes.
Both
That's
eyes.
true. You never had. That's really good. I'm
And
glad
in
they did that.
video and in the thing that they were showing to everyone, right? For
Infinity War.
Thor has both eyes.
Yeah. Yep.
He wasn't wearing the eye patch.
That's good. That's
So
good.
it's
I didn't
like
even pick up on that.
Yeah,
That's
they
really
hid
cool, man. I
all
didn't
of
pick up
that
on that
for
at all.
months.
Bravo.
Yeah, it was
Bravo.
and to
Way
actually-
to do it. Not like Batman
Yeah.
versus Superman, where you frickin' show the end of the
show
movie.
Doomsday?
Right? Yeah.
We'll get
by
into
the
that
way-
review in a second.
I was about to say, which leads us to Justice League. I think we're done. Okay,
I think
hold
we're
on.
done with Thor.
Thor. Everyone, should everyone go see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a good movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think you got to go see
It
it.
was fun as hell.
Okay.
I can't wait to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think that's all that needs to be said.
A great addition to the rest of the Marvel canon and the whole universe
Absolutely.
that they've done up to this
Moves
point.
everything. It's going to move that plot along
Yep.
to Avengers
A
Infinity War.
nice appetizer to Infinity War.
Exactly. Well
I
played.
cannot wait for that movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh,
All right, so
Justice League, otherwise known as "We're sorry for the last two films."
And we're going to make that up to you by screwing it up
just one.
still.
messing the entire thing up.
Okay.
I'm going to hold off on this.
I know you
I
are,
want
'cause
you two to talk about this for a second because I need it. Because y'all need to go first.
So we all saw this.
First off, let me
No, well, let's
I only have one question.
shoot.
Is Cyborg cool?
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
He is.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
In fact, he's one of
He was
the
my
better
favorite,
things
he was my
about
favorite,
this
He was my
movie.
favorite character in. I mean, I thought it was somebody else, but it's changed.
Yeah.
Cyborg was my favorite character. But all right, before you say anything, let's do this. Did you like it,
Yes.
Jason?
you need to come back to me on that one.
No, I think that's
did
a
you
yes
like
or no.
It? Yes or
Okay.
no? Did you like it? Much like Thor, I
Yes.
enjoyed. Did you like it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But I want to go
So-
back on my answer. I do want to preference it with this. I liked it better the second time.
Okay,
And
yeah,
we'll
you said
get
you
to
saw it
that,
twice.
though.
Okay, yeah,
We'll get
I
to that,
liked
yeah.
it too. I saw it. I've only seen it the once, but I liked it. So, all right, go ahead. Tell me your thoughts.
Wow. Where to begin with Justice League? I am a huge DC fan. First and foremost, Batman's like my favorite all-time character. You walk into my house, you walk into the study, it's Batman themed. All the books,
study.
or shut up. All the books
Is that
on the
on your
bookshelf.
third floor or is that on the first floor?
No, it's the left wing of the second
left-
floor.
okay, I got you,
Okay,
I got
thanks.
you.
All right.
That's the one you use the train for, right?
That is the one you have to get into a commuter train to go to the other side.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Just making certain.
It's beautiful. It sounds gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. You know what else is gorgeous?
Can we move on? We only have another 30 minutes.
So shut up with your story at the beginning. So what do we have here, right? We have an amalgamation of a movie by two different directors. And I think my biggest thing with this is it shows. It does show.
Glaringly.
Yeah.
Glaringly.
That's a problem for me. And as I watched it the first time, and I know Jason, when he watched it the first time, which happened to be my second time, he came out of that movie feeling the same way I felt the first time,
first
which
time you
was
saw it?
I like this movie, and it's not because I want to like it. I obviously I want to like it.
You had fun. It was a good movie.
But I
Yeah.
did like it, and I
Right.
thought there were great moments in there. But I also, I walked out of there going, okay, DC, like you took a step forward with Wonder Woman, and I'm very proud of you guys.
Oh God!
Yeah.
I don't think that was a step forward. I think that was leaps and bounds.
yeah, and it was like this
because
is,
it kept the same theme that Snyder had established in Man of Steel and in Batman Superman, but it allowed a more enjoyable reception from the audience. It was more. It was better delivered than Snyder. It wasn't so dark and bleak and.
I'm going to say it like
you
this.
know?
I'm actually going
I
to disagree
love
with you on that, but I'm going to say I'm going to say it for
Okay.
the overall film.
So I love certain imagery of it. Obviously, right when you see them standing together for the first time together.
Yes, that
it's
was good.
it's a very powerful scene.
it was a
I
good
like
image,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and I love the fact that Flash is twitchy.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like It's good. Now he's got, and I loved Ezra Miller as the Flash.
He did a great
He
job.
he is the cinematic Flash. The problem is though, is we've had the Flash on TV for
Had
so
Barry
long
Allen on TV with
that Grant Gustin, I have a really hard time seeing anyone else as Barry.
he has become that.
He has
character.
cemented his
Right.
his place as Barry in DC.
Yeah.
And so it's not a slam to Ezra Miller. Like I said, I thought he
No.
was very cool. The way
Yeah.
that they did his character, I think, was genius. It is way more spastic than what Grant Gustin plays him as, but it still has that sense of humor. In the overall, the one thing I love about the
he
Flash
fits
is
the comics books more.
Yeah, he's got
really,
the wonder.
Yeah.
that he just is, he's happy and he's
Oh my God,
fascinated.
that's your
yeah,
signal.
like,
That means we gotta go.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's all yeah, oh yeah, I part of this thing is I'm always eating because of my metabolism. He goes basically is it's like I'm a hole for snacks or I just eat a bunch of snacks. Yeah, I'm a snack hole. It's like he's going through this, and you can tell he's generally having fun with the character. Victor Stone, awesome. I thought going into this movie that Cyborg was going to be the worst parts of it for me.
Yeah,
I really
was
did.
worried they were going to completely underdevelop that, but that to me was the best character.
Yeah.
His turmoil over dealing with the alien technology that is
Yes.
constantly assaulting his soul, his consciousness,
Yes.
is so fascinating. That just that struggle and watching him, try not to be such a machine. Because think about it. Eventually, that machine could completely consume him, and he could be nothing but a Borg.
That's
if
right.
that were the case. So he's got that
He's a
total
constant
battle
fight.
inside to fight an alien technology that his dad doesn't even understand, and all he was trying to do was save his kid. And instead, he's created what he feels is a monster of himself.
Well, but what I love though is you get two great lines from this movie. One line comes from his conversation with his dad, where he's sitting there. He goes, we're a monster," and his dad goes to him, and he's like, "You're not a monster." And I love the reaction because he just turns around and he goes, basically what he's saying is, "How pompous are you to assume that I was calling myself the monster?"
Right.
That's the type of person you've been my entire life.
Right.
Is that you assume that I'm talking about me, and I'm not. It's so.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful line in the movie, and I'm
Right.
glad that he delivered it. But I really did go in thinking, man, this character. But I wanted to see more of Cyborg.
Yeah.
Like I loved whenever he was on there, he was truly a fascinating character, more
Yeah.
so than anyone else.
Very.
And it's clear there was a lot of him.
You can tell
In the original-
God
the original cut of
release the
this film.
the Snyder director's cut because there's stuff there that's missing, and you can tell it's missing.
Yeah.
But his development I thought was by far the best one of the introductions.
Yeah.
You have 3 introductions. You have Flash, you have Cyborg, and you have Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman,
Fun. Yeah.
fun character.
Yeah. He would to me he's another Thor.
Yeah,
His
and-
character, he mirrored
he
the
is.
same reaction that Thor had
That's
because
right.
he's the prince of the ocean, but he didn't want to be involved in any of the crap that's going on there now. So he's instead tried to find a better way to help people. So he helps the Inuits here, or I don't remember where he was. I say Inuit as in if it was Eskimos, but I don't know
Yeah.
who it was. But he helped those people, whoever he was
I
helping.
think it was the
Oh, That's right. I'm
It
sorry. It
was
was
Norway, I think.
Norway of some sort. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But certainly, I love the fact that because there are definitely moments of levity. It is
yeah.
after all Whedon inspired as well.
I don't think it was just Whedon inspired, man. That's the thing and it's what you pointed out. Those moments of levity, I really doubt any of that was in the film until he got a hold of it. And I think, it is clear when it's like, oh, okay, we're not watching the same movie anymore.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not that it was bad. It's just
It doesn't make it. It doesn't
it's
make
not
it any less
there's
enjoyable.
no continuity for it to have been. It takes you out of it a little bit. Not so much that I didn't like it. Like once again, like the movie, but it has those. That's a big flaw,
It's
man.
well, and I love his best scene.
To me,
his-
it's to me. Yeah,
His best scene comes from sitting on the lasso.
yeah. That
Yeah.
is the
Lasso
best.
of
No,
truth.
that is the
By far
That's
the best thing.
scene of the movie.
They're all in the
well,
ship,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're sitting on the Batmobile, and all of a sudden he takes a seat right on the lasso.
and he
and
just starts talking for no reason.
Yeah,
And-
and I love Gal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Gal Gadot's reaction that I loved because she said, she's trying not to laugh. And again, Gal Gadot is the best thing in any DC movie right now because she's wonderful. No pun intended. Gadot.
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 Okay.
Anyway,
G'day.
Oi.
so I completely agree. Now, what you said there were 2 great lines in the film. What was the second
Okay.
one?
The second line is
Because it's the one I think it's going to lead into me.
the second line is Bruce's. You've got Affleck's talking to Jeremy Iron, and Bruce is basically telling Alfred why they have to bring Superman back. And so the premise behind this is we think we can bring Superman back. We're going to have to, because Steppenwolf is going to just beat the hell out of all of us.
They're not strong enough to fight
They're
Steppenwolf.
not. They've gone up.
They know that.
At this point,
Yeah.
they've gone up against him, and they're like, this isn't going to work. We don't really know if we can do this. Who do we get to help us? Because he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Right? Hands down. I mean, Batman's a non-factor. Flash is getting tossed around like a rag doll. And the two strongest, and he's still able to fend them off between Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Yeah.
So they're talking about it. And Bruce comes to the realization of, I have a way I think we can go ahead and do this. And Barry, being as smart as he is running the numbers in his head. Cyborg, being as smart as he is, he's running the numbers in the head. And they realize we still have the fluid in the ship to bring this to life. We still have the last mother box. And we know that the Kryptonian DNA is not breaking down. It's repairing itself. It's just that Superman's gone.
Right.
And we don't have anything to jumpstart him. But
Right.
what if
we can dip him in some fluid and get him going?
some magical Krypton fluid
Yeah.
and drop the box in at the same time? We know the box gives life. We also know the box takes life. But what if we can chance it so that we can bring Superman back? So, number one, I'm not opposed to that idea. I liked it. It was an interesting way to bring him back. Was still kind of holding on to a little bit of the World Without a Superman storyline from the comics of trying to bring him back through Kryptonian technology and everything else.
Right.
The rebirth chamber.
The rebirth chamber, right. I've read, that originally it was supposed to be Steppenwolf who brings him back, still using the mother box, but to turn him against them. Either way, that line with Bruce where he's just telling Alfred, he's like, look, he goes, he was here, and in his short time here, he accomplished more than I ever could. And he wasn't talking about his heroics. He was talking about his life. And I really appreciated that from Bruce's standpoint, because he was like, my parents died. I waged war on the city, is basically what I did. His parents died. His stepfather dies.
His whole world.
His
dies.
whole world dies.
And he quietly saves people.
And he quietly saves people, and he lived his life more than anything else than just saving lives. He knew in order to enjoy life, he had to live his own.
Yeah.
And so he created this. He goes, I could never do that. He goes, and again, which is always touched upon in the comics, but never in the movies, Clark is the most human person here.
Yeah.
And that's what he was like.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we've got to try to bring that back. He deserves a second
Well,
chance.
as most human, he's the ideal human. He's the
Right.
one who gives everyone the hope. He's the
Right.
you do good for good's sake.
And this is where I have to step in, because while I completely agree with you, it is one of the great scenes in that movie. And it's one of the most honest scenes in that movie. It is also very indicative of my problem with this movie, which is it's a sequel to a movie we never got. Because I would like to point out that in the previous movie, not only was Superman not seen as some beacon of hope, he was a highly divisive figure. It wasn't so much that Batman spent the entire movie going, I have to kill him because
no, there was no Christian Bale here.
Okay,
This is Affleck.
Well, I can't modulate my voice.
Obviously.
Anyway. Yeah, I mean, he spent his entire film like, I have to kill him because he could possibly maybe be bad. And everyone was like, is he a god? Is he a demon? What is he? What do we need to do with him? He was highly divisive. I'm just saying, I would have liked to have seen maybe the movie that Ben Affleck saw.
No,
to have that reaction.
But it's still Batman versus Superman and continuing on. I don't agree with that at all. Because the whole point of this, and to the end of Batman versus Superman, was the fact that Bruce did not understand who he was.
And
well, go ahead.
All right, and you're leaving out the fact that in Batman v Superman, the other half of the people who did worship him as a savior. Sure, it was polarized. I mean, what isn't? But in the movie, there was enough people that said they looked up to him, while the government still being afraid of him. it wasn't like that half didn't exist. It's just that's not the half you're going to talk about because the controversy is the thing that's going to sell. That's what you're going to talk about.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, if you watch the movie carefully, like you said, there's those who worship him. They're talking about people. Hold on, they're talking about people saying that they made him see the best side of themselves. And honestly, that introductory cell phone commentary.
You mean with the horrible CGI?
Yeah, with the horrible CGI
Okay.
and the kids, right? With the kids talking to him.
The crap out of me. Not the kids. The horrible CGI.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm
I can't
saying
believe
is-
we're talking about horrible CGI with a person standing still, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, but Superman's sitting there and he's talking to the kids. That 2-minute deal, honestly, made me feel better about the entire previous line. But my point is, that's not the Superman we got in those two films. But,
see, you're
hold
full
on.
of crap.
Hold on. Y'all have been talking about this for a while. That's not the Superman we got in those films. The Superman we got in those films is, I'm out here saving people because I want to do the right thing. And again, here's my thing. I want to see Snyder's cut because the whole point of Superman dying was that his death is what changed people's perspective
that's the
of them. It was because up to that point they were like, okay, he's either this almighty god or he's this demon who has some sort of
because he can't
hidden
just be
agenda.
a normal person and just like want to live his life. He has to have an agenda.
Right, exactly.
In the eyes of people who have agendas.
Exactly. In the whole
Sorry.
in Batman vs Superman, again, in Batman vs Superman, the best scene to me was when he was that scene where they're talking about him and he's seen saving everyone, including the space shuttle or the space capsule. When he lands, he says maybe he's not a god from above or a demon from below. What if he's just a guy trying to do the right thing?
Exactly.
That was the entire point of the film, right?
Yeah.
And his death needed to happen to tell everyone that is his point, is that he was just a guy trying to do the right thing.
Right.
And that's when everyone realized, oh, that is what he was.
So then why are you having a problem with this?
Because, again, that happens at the end. It wasn't his life that gave everyone this big unifying hope. I'm just saying it's a different film.
I think
it's a sequel.
I think
Joss Whedon made this
on a very small detail.
I really do.
No. It doesn't thematically flow. I'm just saying this is a sequel to a movie we never got. We didn't get Batman versus Superman because outside of the whole Martha thing, everyone's like, oh, what? Which again I thought was brilliant actually.
That
Snyder had a
one
point.
Person named Martha.
Exactly.
No.
It's about his
it's
humanity.
Well, and that's the point. The whole. I think everyone missed that point with the line Martha. Had nothing to do with Bruce going, "You have a mother named Martha. I've got a mother named Martha."
Did we just become best friends?
Did we just do? Yeah, I love this. It had nothing to do with that. For the first time,
I would have loved to have seen that as the scene.
but at the same time, though, what it was Martha caught him off guard because he was like, "Do you know more about me than what I think you do?"
Yeah,
like
I
it became more of a threat,
right?
But when she tells him it's his mom, that's when he realizes
he's got a mom.
You got a mom. You are trying to do the right thing, and it stops him.
Humanized him.
Yeah, it humanized him for Bruce, and it also made Bruce realize, man, I'm kind of a dick, aren't I? It's like I'm sitting here about to stab this guy through the heart.
I've always felt that okay, given right, that's exactly what they achieved, and what they were trying to achieve, and it made sense to me. I watched it and I got it. I was like, I get that part of it, but it wasn't delivered properly. That was it was not executed properly.
I understand
the entire lead up to all this other
you're
BS
right.
of watching. How many times do I have to see Bruce fall down a freaking well and realize, oh yeah, he's going to be Batman? It's the same amount of times I saw the Purple Man in freaking Jessica Jones.
Well, at least
Okay,
they're
hold
not.
on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in another episode.
At least they're not bringing him back for the second. Oh, wait a minute, they are.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay, so anyway,
okay, hold on. Okay, we're on the clock on this one. Let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
the shitty thought.
Back off.
Okay.
I like the film, and I think one of the initial things I didn't like was, again, you had the sloppy special effects because of the reshoots, and the fact that it was two films two very different views,
two entirely different films
cut together.
Yeah,
and to a point, I think a lot of the things I didn't like about it on my initial viewing, I had to think through, like, hold on, am I just burnt out on all of these superhero films? And once I realized I was judging a little too harshly. I appreciated it more.
Yeah.
But I still think the thing that bugs me is all it really makes me want to do is see either where they're going to go within the future movies, or that I really, really want to see Snyder's version.
Yeah.
Because I think Snyder did not get a chance to tell his whole story.
And I'm very interested in the same thing. His prior two films, they have a feel. And this one did not have that feel, mainly because Whedon was able to come in and do about a third reshoot of the entire movie somewhere.
Yeah, I think
about.
it's
Yeah.
Well, for sure,
And
he rewrote
A lot of it.
I'm just
rewrote
I'm just going to simplify and say he reshot about a third of that movie. So it's a very different film than it would have been than it started out as. So we don't know what that was unless we get to see the Snyder cut, which I'd love to see. But a friend of mine, I was talking to him about this over the weekend or last weekend. He put it very well. He said it's a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, I'll grant you that.
And when he said that, I said, "Man, it's perfect.
spot on.
That's a very, very poignant line. That's a very way to say
exactly.
a good way to say that." So it was good. It's just that it couldn't focus.
Right.
You know?
It's because they were trying to play catch up with Marvel.
I think it's mainly, in my opinion, because they had to do the two directors, and that's no one's fault. That's a horrible thing to have to happen. That happened.
Well, what happened was DC. Okay, I'm going to say this very quickly, and we're going to have to go.
Yeah.
Again, the reason about Wonder Woman is I think Wonder Woman actually absolutely fits thematically and tonally into what Snyder was doing. The problem is Snyder's story with Superman and the Superman, Batman versus Superman, and then Justice League was to give us the Superman that we all know and love. The end of it gives us that Superman that we see at the beginning of the third film. Right?
Yeah.
That was his whole story. Was we don't know? Is that he's saying, hey, we don't know who Superman is. He has to discover who he is, and the world has to discover who he is, because he gave us a world in which we live. If we saw Superman flying around tomorrow, we'd freak out. We wouldn't know what to do with him. We would second guess him. We would idolize him. And the problem is, you need his death and his resurrection for him both to appreciate being human and for us to appreciate what he was doing. So I think Snyder's story was larger, and he needed that last film. And I think Wonder Woman fits tonally into that.
Yeah, it does.
It's because Wonder Woman's actually a very dark film.
It is, but you're right. It fits in that tone of the first two Snyder films, and then this one.
I think it would have worked better had they allowed Snyder to finish this up. I think we would have been much happier with it.
It wasn't that.
And it because they didn't. Now we're left with this film that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Well, but it's not horrible. It's not
a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. That's what I'm saying. It's just it is worth watching. We do need to see it.
I think you'll get Flashpoint to fix a lot of this. I think Flashpoint will be a soft reboot of the DC universe, which will bleed out because of this movie. It's a good movie. I liked it. I want to see Snyder's version. I will say my favorite scene in the entire movie, midway through, when Superman comes back and he's fighting the Justice League, and Flash is the Flash's person. And for the first time, like, he's not used to people, and all of a sudden,
he sees his eyes move.
He sees his eyes move,
and he goes, "What?"
and just looks at him as he's going behind him.
Yeah.
And it's the whole thing of Barry going,
"Oh crap!
Oh he just saw me."
And then he moves.
Yeah.
And as soon as he moves his head over to that side, and Barry's like, "What?" I mean, it's the look on his
Ezra
face.
Miller's face. He sold that so well.
And on that note, we need to let y'all go for this week. Beautiful people on the internet.
I believe,
are we going to be here on the 23rd?
It's the holidays. We're going to play that by ear, I think, right?
I'm planning on being here. We got Star Wars to discuss.
I think I'm planning on being here.
We got Star Wars to discuss.
Ziggy said he'd be here come hell or high water, so we could talk about it.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
right?
Why not?
2 weeks, we're going to talk about Star Wars.
Ziggy,
so,
this is the
be
quiet
there,
you've ever been. I think it's because you haven't seen either of the movies. So love to ruin that for you, buddy. We missed you. It was a month.
Oh, yeah. No, I missed you guys. I love doing this show. And I got a little treat for you guys since it's getting cold. I have a Japanese jazz track from Ryo Fukui.
Sweet.
To take us out.
Sweet, man.
Well, send us out on that,
Have a good couple weeks, everyone.
Yep.
All right,
see you
on the
in a bit.
23rd.